Hello everyone. So this is my first going live, for a while anyway, with my 2-minute story challenge. And the idea behind it is very, very simple. Give me a few words and I'll come up with a story. These are not rehearsed, I have no idea what's going to be said, and we're just going to go from there. So, we are being watched. Hello April, how are you? So, having just introduced this, I am waiting to see if anybody has any words, if they're going to jump on. So, April, do you have any words for me to make a story with today? Yes, 2-minute stories. Any words at all? Okay, so April, for those of you who can't see, has given me the words puppy, soup, and carriage. So let's begin with a classic. Once upon a time, there was a puppy, and this puppy liked to ride in a carriage, and this carriage would go up and down the hillsides every single day, up and down, up and down, up and down. And like most puppies, this puppy liked to put its head out of the window. And as it put its head out the window, it liked to allow its tongue to loll and catch the breeze. And one day, as the carriage was going up and down, up and down, up and down, there was something new. There was a travelling merchant. And with the travelling merchant, there was a stool. And that merchant didn't like to sell hardware, didn't like to sell software. Oh no, that merchant liked to sell cabbage soup. And every day the carriage would go up and down, and the puppy would let its tongue hang out, lolling, up and down, up and down. And on this one day, it tasted the cabbage soup in the air. And it hated it. The puppy did not like cabbage soup at all. And so the puppy withdrew into the carriage. So no longer did its tongue loll out. Instead, it curled up into a ball and hid until the foul-smelling cabbage was gone. And the merchant didn't pay much notice to this, but the driver of the carriage did, because in the rear-view mirror, she couldn't see her puppy, and she did not like this at all. And so up and down the carriage went, day after day. And again, day after day, the cabbage soup was there, and the puppy refused to come out. And one day, the carriage driver stopped outside the stall and ordered a bowl of cabbage soup, and tasted it, and it really wasn't so bad. But it needed something, it was missing something, it needed seasoning. And so she asked the travelling merchant if the travelling merchant had onion. Well, he didn't. And then she asked if he had bacon. And he didn't. But he did have something else. He had cheese. And so this made the cabbage soup a little more bearable. And the driver offered the puppy some of the cabbage soup with cheese. And the puppy sniffed and gave it a cautious lick, ate the cheese and left the cabbage soup. And so another week passed, up and down, and this time the puppy stuck her face out of the carriage just a little, always wary for that nasty cabbage soup, and every time she smelt it on the air she pulled back quickly. And after a week, the travelling merchant realised that his customers were just not showing up nearly as much, and he wondered what was wrong with the soup, and he tasted it, and he couldn't find anything wrong with it. But then he remembered what the cabbage driver said. Carriage driver, even. And so he decided to experiment with things. So first he tried the onion, and that just wasn't popular. And then he remembered the bacon. So he crushed bacon and he put it in with the cabbage soup. And then the puppy stuck her head out of the window and could not stop panting. And so people noticed this as the carriage was going up and down, up and down. And they noticed the puppy, and then they looked to where the puppy was looking, at the cabbage and bacon soup. And so the travelling merchant gave some more soup to the carriage driver. The carriage driver tasted it and gave some to the puppy. And the puppy devoured it, every last drop. And then the puppy would stare and pant and stare some more. Over and over at the travelling merchant. And so everybody decided that the cabbage soup must be good. And so everybody was happy. The puppy lolled out of the carriage window. The carriage driver was happy. The travelling merchant was happy. And his customers were happy. And everybody was happy until the bacon ran out. The end. And there's your 2-minute story. I don't know how long that actually was. So, I think that's probably it for today. So we will do this again. Possibly sooner than next week. We'll see. But certainly we will do this again on Wednesday. So thank you for joining me. Come along, drop some words if you see the replay of this, and we will go from there. And I look forward to seeing you for our next 2-minute story. Thanks again, and bye for now.